about Miracle Aboagye any sika o Mickey. And you see, the party be or no one kind of cry. Just check the leadership of the party. Bawumia a year meet the press. You catch them say journalists call you be 50,000 Ghana. You be 30,000 Ghana. 20,000. Happy birthday, Nana Jantwa. Me say usika na woji and be boss Otchere. Nana, happy birthday, na bibi aboko de. But waje. Oko enkran no omo ma usika 30 beka. Would be at your rent? Would it be in points? Nana beka Nana Jantwa woji. Now you're going to see how a party. Happy birthday, Nana Jantwa Nana. If you want to see a party be a party, I won't kind of cry. And yeah, one day a statue which when you want hypocrisy in Ghana, it starts from the journalists. Some journalists in Ghana are hypocrites. Mr. P, Mr. S, get me that poster of Herbert Fable when we were talking about journalists who have taken appointment under Ekufuado. I think he's at Petroleum Commission. Get that guy's picture with that particular. If you can find it, if you can't find it, just build a poster for me. Egbert Fable, that's his name, right? I think I got the first one wrong. Egbert Fable. Ope Ghana, Oma say Ghana, majority Oma contributed to the destruction of Ghana. A journalist be. Some of the journalists in Ghana, Oma say Ghana, and it didn't start with this group of journalists though. This group of journalists learned from the ones they came to meet in the system. Majority of the so-called old journalists, no, me, I don't know anything. Your friend is senior journalist. Stupid statement to me. There's nothing like senior journalist. What makes somebody senior journalist? Nothing makes somebody senior journalist. More system from old journalists, you know. Hypocrisy, any chrono, any azan, any atrom, you know. And no, some of these young ones they have learned and into almost exhibit side and there. In terms of a whole political party, a vice president of a republic. Don't see Bawumia as just a mere flag bearer. He is still at the Jubilee House. He is the vice president of this country. Into every single thing that today Ebesi Bawumia Kampono, it affects the vice president's office because that his position is still intact. So don't see Bawumia as a flag bearer. See Bawumia as the vice president of the republic. That is why we still address him as vice president of the republic. Senka Bawumia is not connected to the Jubilee House. Sanka Bawumia activities, Nejuma Oye, Nekasa Okano, if it wasn't connected to the Jubilee House, he wouldn't have been called vice president now. But as we speak, Bawumia is a vice president of this republic. Inti Adibia Bawumia, you know, even though Oye the campaign or the campaign team, no, he is still drawing every single resource from the Jubilee House. Because as we sit here, Mahamudu Bawumia can't say he has raised this amount of money for his campaign. We never heard Bawumia a fundraiser and raised this amount of money for his campaign. So it means every single money Bawumia is pumping into this campaign is coming from where he works. And where does he work? He works at the Jubilee House. And to do not write it off. That Ben out is Bawumia so fundraiser and raise sika when they run the campaign. No. At least we saw the NDC John Mahama go to the Ashanti region, go to the Savannah region. We saw them raise funds. But once about Bawumia campaign, have you heard say Omu receive fund $2, $3, 20 Ghana? No. Every single money is coming from the presidency. Every single money is coming from this government. Do not isolate Bawumia from the seat of government. In the Sunday Bawumia press conference, meeting the presser, every single thing he says, he said it as a flag bearer / the vice president. And also every single money Aboagye say Bawumia campaign, because as far as I know, Bawumia nye fundraiser bien raises say and no the free the campaign, it's coming from the Jubilee House, because we know Bawumia does one job. He owns the campaign. So every single money that comes into the campaign comes from Bawumia. The same way at NDC, you know, because they want people to see the transparency in the party, you know, they started raising funds so that people will know, say, the monies they are using in their campaign, you know, it is coming from where? It is coming from the funds they raised. But as far as we know, NPP Bawumia and raising funds, so every money is coming from Bawumia. Now, on some boy we Miracle Aboagye omode journalist free the whole of Ghana. Adom begu eye enkran. And Yebusa almost said they have paid journalists money, some of them. And I'm saying, no, we never paid any media house. 20,000, highest was 5,000. Inti almost started almost someone to later, and a boy we are Miracle Aboagye or no any Kasama former Bawumia campaign. It says, Mr. P, Oh, you have all of that. Guys, thank you. I wasn't expecting all, but I'm going to use all. Thank you. Now, so time I Becca Chira say in way Baumia meet the press, no. They took money from the coffers, Ghana Fosika and the Mamo. Ya calculate it's almost 3.2 million. Titi Ghana's Gano almost 32 billion and Omuchama in Centrophobi. Aden so ma be shia Baumia. Na yetia and MPP deny say oh they did not pay any day and America Aboagye teams because oh the democracy ye ntia sa but ye from 20,000 from 5,000 to Ghana 50 million to Ghana no 200 million and the Baumia nyesika miti press keke money pa bako 50 million between 50 million old Ghana and 200 million ye de ma journalist ya kra journalist abetna crying napko fosika ye ntia ye ya kra journalist ye di play na form ye di play na form over the hotel ye fidi omo ema omo kono ya sa omo tete Ghana scan 50 million and 200 million miracle Aboagye odi Baumia campaign him say die tia ye no really in this uko enim na o check eye de omo campaign no Baumia media encounter I received 10,000 not 20,000 journalists in Centrophobi etumi Okatakyie eye news outlets bi say oh sikane de ye receive bi na ye receive ni nyina ye mu bi de ye nya 100 million tie we nya sama ye didi agro de sesre o journalists ni bi say ye de ye mu bi ni ye nya 100 million ebi say oh samoka say ye nya 400 million dia moboa na ye mu bi ni de ye nya 100 million inti mamon ka say ye nya 200 million. This is the NPP government under Baumia. Almost omunya 100 million. Memi enka say omunya de omunya 200 million. Now that is one. Let's slow down. Maybe chow there. Oh guys, I'm lining up the pictures and yes idea weda and it's important here back Ghana for why we are here today because some of the journalists in Ghana they are criminals, they are liars. Omano enomde say Ghana no omano enomde Baumia eni Akufo-Addo bae because mumudo no you were not listening to the truth. And until ende yaba bedru hande Ghana sika sama saying na it is because we allowed some of these journalists to lie to us. We were not asking questions because ya more room no. Now, shade be see I want to show you something. Wait, every Paul Adom Otchere, right? And the Paul Adom Otchere agent TV so say oh journalist near mo musika no enya problem bia na the journalist eja ho Sunday we jana yire ho eja ne ba ho aba be di Baumia abetie Baumia press conference na yetam 200 million ma journalist yetam 50 million ma journalist Paul Adom Otchere agent TV so catch Ghana for say what is the big deal muntie Paul Adom Otchere
act of communication for a former president that you call
this is foolishness. This is Afiwati. These are the journalists you people are listening to. Did any journalist come out to tell you say NDC year press conference and John Mahama meet the press? Did any journalist come to say Yamana one city? You see, these are the people I talk about. In instance, Paul Obewu Enchebi Obewu. Paul go die. He is a walking lie. Today, payment has become compensation. You see what I keep telling you? These people, muna mama mo chance. E krobian ko se we mu no mo chichire omo to baby. You see, suddenly, a whole government in power, a vice president, atam sika free abaimu because as far as I know, Baumia didn't have any fundraiser to tell me this money is coming from here. Atam almost 30 billion old Ghana. Ediama journalist achiche 500 million, 400 million, 100 million. Ediama journalist because also a press conference Sunday. Ain't I was all tam abain sika. Not journalist, so Paul is or a journalist. Wabejina TV say it's compensation. Now you see this man. Your friend Egbert Fable. Maybe chiramo. These people are the omudia NDC. Any idea omudia yemo. Egbert Fable, time Atame was president and Mahama be president, he was a very vocal person. Not occupy Ghana. Or a journalist. We are from senior journalists, they know nothing. They are criminals who you people refuse to interrogate, to assess. These are chain smokers who took advantage of majority of you guys, your ignorance, those times. And then what they did was they fed you people with lies, the hatred which was in them. They made it a point to say, ready say, so they will gang up and destroy that government. These are the people who called themselves journalists. Destroy mo Ghana for it. Egbert Fable. Na on the publisher Ghanaian Observer newspaper. Mokai. Ekufuado ba power and the CEO of National Petroleum Commission and the Oko Petroleum Commissioner. A journalist who was on the sideline saying politicians then, the politicians he hated in the NDC government, in the Atamils government, in the Mahama government, they are bad. We need to be the watchmen. We need to be the third eye. Make sure we speak for the people. No, Ekufuado ba power and the Petroleum Commissioner. But you know one thing? When John Mahama was in power, they organized GJA awards. And I think there was a press conference at the Jubilee House or the Flagstaff House, they used to call it. And I don't know, I think some journalists were, as Paul Adom would say, compensated for coming to the event. These people, led by Egbert Fable, Kwame Sifakain, Kweku Bako, they went to sit on Joy News. Yet halitosis. Your friend, Samson Ayenini, he was the moderator. They sat on news file and made the world believe, say, what the NDC government, under their government, journalists, Tibiako, Flagstaff House, Ako press conference, Emma, Paul Adom will say, they have been compensated, They made it look like, say, the NDC government, John Mahama, or a Kronfo will be. In fact, the real story, it wasn't even about anybody paying, it was people going to an event. Now, Muntie the submission on news file about time John Mahama president. Almost say journalists be echo enfa Flagstaff House. Muntie
organizes GJ Awards. So at the end of every journalism year, I mean, journalists who have excelled are appreciated, so to speak. So I think that what happened, using what happened at the Flagstaff House as a dashboard,
which is not new. It's been going on from time immemorial.
It is not new, but you see, I think that it stinks. It stinks. And I don't see how anybody will look the average Ghanaian in the face, eyeball to eyeball, and seek to rationalize what happened. I fundamentally have been a journalist for some time, and I want to say that, look, it's about time we sought a clear distinction between, the solid, as we know, like a journalist, a young rookie reporter comes on assignment and is, going away. You look at him or her and say, look, take 20 Ghana cedis for transportation. Take maybe 50 Ghana cedis for transportation. Those ones, I think that we need to compartmentalize them and let people understand that you cannot really, describe as something to influence the journalists.
Are you a member of Occupy Ghana?
Yes, I am a member of Occupy Ghana. Now, moving from there, even when you come to the corporate world, there are brands. And these brands always want visibility in the media. So they even prepare their own, advertorials and give it to a journalist or a media house to roll out as if it is an independently researched thing. We call it PR. But when you are in government, you ought to be careful. You ought to be careful. You see, when a journalist takes money from the corporate world to push a brand, and I don't want to mention any brand because of all kinds of whatever that we have, you can look at it and blink an eye. But when it comes from the seat of government, who were called? They say senior editors, senior journalists. These are the gatekeepers. If it was a rookie journalist, some young journalist who was called and was given that amount, I would have looked at it in a different light. But these are gatekeepers. They sieve the information and decide what ought to be given to the reading public. And as far as I'm concerned, when you have a gatekeeper in your pocket, then the reading, consuming, or watching, consuming public is dead. So now, just a few weeks or months after that, we also see Julius Zebra also caught in the same vortex. What is it at the presidency that is making the sharing of money?
Okay.
So
I take it that you endorse Occupy Ghana's statement that is saying that the president should publicly denounce this and ask the Flagstaff House and government department ministries to stop giving such things forthwith.
The presidency is a place where policy is taught through and supervised and compliance ensured. All of a sudden, we are seeing the presidency being, if you like, a microfinance.
And he should at least reprimand the chief of staff for this?
Reprimand is even a small...
I see. That's very interesting.
So, you see, this is what they did. They were saying, say, a press conference was held at the Flagstaff House during Mahama's time. And these radio hosts, from journalists, they were like, the president should take responsibility that some journalists came to the Jubilee House and were given transportation back. Now today, Samson Ayenini, Kweku Bako, Egbert Febo, who is now the CEO of Ghana Petroleum Commission, ask them the same question. That is why you see a fool like Paul stand on TV to say that today there's no problem with it. But when John Mahama was president, these people had serious issues. You see, when John Mahama was president, they were even saying because journalists came to the Jubilee Flagstaff House and were given compensation, transport, it's a crime. It should never happen. Do you know when Bawumia met the press, Samson Ayenini was there? Ask him, did he take money? Samson Ayenini went to Bawumia's event as a press man on the Friend Home Press. Let us ask Samson Ayenini, who was the host of this particular episode, that did he take money? And how different is this money from that one they were discussing when John Mahama was president? When we are dangerous. Samson Ayenini took 50,000 Ghana when he went to the event because they gave him that handbag with a manifesto and a white envelope in it. That is how much Samson Ayenini took. 500 million old Ghana cedis. So tomorrow or Saturday when he sits on Newsfile, ask him, you were the same person discussing this issue on Newsfile. How do you see it today? It was wrong yesterday. Is it right today? You were there the day they had the event. How much did you take? Samson took 500 million old Ghana. 50,000.